One Piece's universe is filled with extraordinary abilities like Haki, Devil Fruit, and more. Yet there are individuals who dominate the oceans and send chills down the enemy's spine with their extraordinary swordsmanship. These swordsmen can cut through anything and split the heavens without the use of any devil fruit powers. Swords come in many different varieties, and each has a different amount of strength. So, it is entirely up to the wielder to utilize the blade to its maximum potential in the pirate world. From Mihawk to the most recent Wano arc's samurais, One Piece has highlighted many cool swordsmen. So, we have put together a list of the top 10 strongest swordsmen in One Piece. 1. Dracule Mihawk. Dracule Mihawk, better known as Hawkeyes, is recognized as the world's greatest swordsman in One Piece right now. Being the best swordsman of his generation, his swordsmanship skills are unmatched. Even Oda admitted that Mihawk's mastery over swords is far superior to his rival Shanks. If there is one man who has mastered every aspect of swordsmanship and is the most versatile when it comes to swordplay, it's Mihawk. Mihawk can create various types of sword attacks depending on the situation. We have already seen him using the strong blade and gentle blade swordsmanship in the anime. For example, he can slash giant icebergs, battleships, and more with a mighty air slash from his sword. He can also deflect anything that comes his way like bullets. That is exactly why Mihawk's swordsmanship is unprecedented. Mihawk is also one of the greatest observation haki users, which is why he carries the epithet, Hawkeyes. He is also an excellent user of armament haki, which greatly elevates his swordsmanship skills. Mihawk will remain One Piece's #1 swordsman until Zoro claims his throne. 2. Gol D. Roger. Thanks to his haki and his fabled blade called Ace, the Pirate King was able to rule the seas without the aid of any devil fruit powers. Roger used his sword Ace throughout his whole pirate career and battled renowned foes such as Rox D. Zebek, Whitebeard, Shiki, etc. It was the ideal weapon for the Pirate King himself. Theoretically, one might even claim that Roger's raw strength was one of his primary abilities, but when combined with his extraordinary swordsmanship and haki, he truly lived up to the Pirate King of the pirate's name. Roger enhanced the potency of his blade by coating it with Armament and Conqueror's type of hakis. Roger was one of the most powerful haki users in One Piece, and you can imagine how much it boosted his swordsmanship. A single slash from his sword was enough to knock back Kazuki Oden and clash against Whitebeard easily. Thus, Roger should not be forgotten when it comes to the strongest swordsman in One Piece. 3. Shanks. Everyone must be so surprised to see Shanks being ranked so high despite the fact we haven't seen any of his powers. But, we have some great news for you. Shanks was highly skilled in swordsmanship from the beginning of the anime itself. It was confirmed by the fact that Shanks would often duel against Mihawk in his early days, and their duels were so popular among the people. Therefore, as a rival to the world's greatest swordsman, Shanks is a tremendously skilled swordsman who can take his opponents single-handedly, pun intended. Even after losing an arm, Shanks went on to clash against Whitebeard, trading blows and splitting the heavens. He was able to hold off Marine Admiral Akainu's magma attack during the Marineford War arc. Currently, Shanks is known to be a master of haki, which greatly boosts his powers and swordsmanship. In the recent manga chapter, Shanks was able to knock out Eustace Kid, 3 billion berries bounty in One Piece, in a single shot with the Heavenly Departure attack. Everyone, including us, literally waited to see Shanks' true powers, and it was unleashed in the best possible way. Thus, Shanks is currently the third strongest swordsman in the One Piece universe. 4. Kazuki Oden. Kazuki Oden was a legendary samurai from the lands of Wano. He was the leader of the formidable samurai group named the 9 Red Scabbards, which featured some great samurais. Oden wielded 2 amazing swords, Aim no Habakiri and Enma, and used them with his unique 2-sword style. He once stated that the 2-sword style is the greatest sword style. Oden was skilled with swords from a young age as seen in his backstory. Therefore, he grew up stronger and better with swords over time. He has faced several mighty enemies, including Ashura Doji, the mountain god at this time. He then clashed against legendary figures like Whitebeard and Roger, a feat that sends chills down the spine of every fan. After spending time as a pirate with two of the greatest pirate crews, Oden returned to Wano as an invincible man. Although he managed to give Kaido a big scar, he was defeated and executed by Kaido and Orochi. But Oden still lives in the hearts of the fans and his tales will be passed down generations. 5. Shimotsuki Ryuma is known to be the sword god of the Wano country. This statement alone is enough to make you curious about his power, and a testament to his skills when it comes to swords. It is said that Ryuma once cut a giant dragon's head like it was nothing. Even the zombie version of Ryuma was strong enough that Zoro struggled greatly in his battle against it. Since we haven't seen him in action in the flesh, fans tend to forget him when talking about the strongest swordsman in One Piece. But we have got it covered. Ryuma is worshipped as a legendary figure in the lands of Wano as people have witnessed his mastery in swordsmanship. His tale has been detailed in another manga named Monsters, by Eiichiro Oda, which is a must-read. Ryuma had immense armament haki, such that the Shisui turned into a black blade. He could easily be the strongest swordsman in One Piece from what we have heard. But since we haven't seen him in an actual fight in his prime, we have decided to position him in the middle of the top 10. 6. Roronoa Zoro. Roronoa Zoro, the man who aims to become the world's greatest swordsman, is the right-hand man of our beloved Luffy. Zoro is the main combatant and swordsman of the Straw Hat Pirates. Out of all the swordsmen here, Zoro is the only one whom we have seen grow in power and sharpen his swordsmanship over time. Thus, we all know how Baratie Arc's Zoro is different from today's Zoro. Zoro has come a long way, and he indeed faced many powerful opponents to be in the place where he is today. His training under Mihawk significantly increased his powers, but he still has a long way, the ones above him, to go to become the greatest swordsman, which he will likely become in the future. Zoro's defeat against Mihawk back then shaped him to become one of the strongest swordsmen currently. Zoro's family tree was revealed recently, and it revealed that he has blood from the Shimotsuki family flowing in his veins. Just like the other Shimotsuki, he is rising up to become a great swordsman. He doesn't have any devil fruit powers and completely relies on his strength, willpower, and haki. Zoro has honed his haki skills to successfully incorporate them into his swordsmanship skills. Furthermore, Zoro has used a number of swords and was able to master them over time. Zoro was highly talented from the beginning, and now those rigorous training have bore fruit for him. He cut and slashed many opponents and is just a few steps away from becoming the best swordsman ever. 7. Silver's Rayleigh. Silver's Rayleigh, widely known as Dark King, was the first mate of Pirate King Roger. Rayleigh has been recognized by many of the world's renowned figures such as Garp, Whitebeard, Shanks, etc. That is a testament to his incredible powers. As many might know, Rayleigh was the one who introduced us to haki in One Piece, and explained it well. He is a master of haki himself, which plays a role in his excellent swordsmanship skills. That is also the reason for him being one of the strongest haki users we have seen in One Piece. Rayleigh is not a devil fruit user, and moreover, he doesn't have a high, supreme-grade sword. He is seen carrying a saber from time to time, unleashing monstrous attacks with it. The old Rayleigh was feared by many, and he went on to fight Kizaru back in the Sabaody arc. Even recently, he went up against Blackbeard. So, just imagine the reputation he must have held in his prime. Rayleigh's mastery of haki made him a master of swords. 8. Fujitora. Isho aka Fujitora is one of the three main and strongest admirals of the Marines right now. Fujitora is a blind swordsman who feels like a daredevil-esque superhero. He has one of the strongest devil fruit powers, Zushi no Mi, and uses his sword as the primary weapon to release his devil fruit attacks. His devil fruit allows him to control gravitational forces, which he combines with his sword technique. Unlike everyone, Fujitora holds the sword in a different reverse grip. Although he is blind, Fujitora's use of his supreme observation haki enables him to sense everything around him. That is how he can fight using a sword despite being in a disadvantageous position. Therefore, Fujitora's swordsmanship is just incredible in that he can parry, land lightning-fast attacks, defend himself, and last but not least, combine them all with his devil fruit powers. So, Fujitora steals himself a spot among the top 10 strongest swordsmen in One Piece. 9. Trafalgar Law. Trafalgar Law is one of the most popular characters in One Piece and is loved by millions of fans around the world. He is popularly known as the Surgeon of Death, and is the captain of the Heart Pirates. Ever since Law started an alliance with Luffy, we get to see more of his character and his powers. Law has one of the strongest devil fruits in existence and can use his sword in tandem with it, which makes him a worthy swordsman. Law has a long sword, Nodashi, named Kikoku, and uses it unitedly with his devil fruit. He can mutilate the enemies inside his rune technique with this sword. He was able to defeat Kinemon, a great swordsman from the Wano country, Virgo of the Don Quixote pirates, Tashigi, who is a sword expert, and many more. In the manga, he has defeated Big Mom and is now dueling against Blackbeard with his amazing swordsmanship and devil fruit powers. Therefore, Law is another underrated swordsman whom people will start to recognize shortly. 10. King. King is the right-hand man of the strongest creature on this planet, Kaido. He was one of the members of the All-Stars of Beast Pirates. King has been one of the important antagonists in the latest Wano Country arc. He has been up against Zoro and their battle is approaching the end. Additionally, he is an incredible swordsman like Zoro, giving the Straw Hat member the hardest time right now. King belongs to the super rare Lunarian race and Zoro had to figure out his background in order to come up with a plan to defeat him. King, along with his insane devil fruit powers, wielded a katana and dealt massive blows. He is recognized as a skilled sword user, as he gave Zoro and Marco a tough time. Moreover, he can incorporate his devil fruit powers with his swordsmanship skills, making him unpredictable. But even with all this, he was completely defeated by Zoro in the end.